Watch this video, and I'll be right back.
But I'm finding myself in a position now where we're making more money than we've ever made, and we are literally the brokest we've ever been. Brokest we've ever been.
But I'm making the most money I ever had my entire life. My husband and I, between the two of us, gross, make like over $80,000 a year. And if you told me a few years ago that $80,000 a year was not going to be enough for a family of four.
I make more than what I made back in 2015. But I am still literally living paycheck to paycheck.
I have to work 60 hours a week and make $80,000 a year to make ends meet. That's insane. I can't even begin to wrap my head around it.
Financially, I don't understand anymore. I don't understand how I make $34 an hour and I can't function. I can't pay my bills.
There's nothing in my life that I can look forward to long term. Like, I can find things that excite me or make me happy or that I'm thankful for in my day-to-day life, but there's nothing in the long run that feels worth it.
I shouldn't be struggling. We make enough money that I shouldn't be struggling.
Okay, so this is common stuff that I've seen on social media that a lot of people seems to have in common. Like, they feel the same type of way, they're going through the same phases, the same everything. You understand? I can't find the original video, but it's a guy that is basically summing up a lot of different events, and you can read the comments. It's so many people that are like, what? I thought I was the only one thinking or feeling like this at this moment, you know? But collectively, a lot of people are going through the same thing and experiencing the same phenomenon. The mature gap. I don't know how to explain this, but what I'm trying to say is basically that you remember, like, when you were younger, like especially like in your early 20s, you couldn't be friends or even date somebody that was a couple of months younger than you. Like, that was like, oh hell no, like that was a big no-no. But now, being 33 that I am, a little bit older, I feel like that so-called gap, it's not like it's non-existent, but that gap is smaller. Do you understand? Let me give an example. I can have co-workers, classmates that are in their early 20s and I get along with them. Or people that are in their 50s, 60s and I get super good along with these people as well. Do you understand? It feels almost weird to be amongst people my own age, but everybody else, like, I don't know how to explain it, but I've seen that a lot of people can relate to this. The time doesn't seem to be timing as it should. This one is a phenomenon that a lot of people seem to be agreeing on. When you're talking about like 30 years ago, in your mind you're thinking 1970. You know, you're not thinking that it was like 2000 and whatever. Do you understand? So it's not just that example, it's a lot of examples. Like, let me give one personal. What I'm studying right now is only 1.5 years. So I'm gonna graduate anytime soon now. I keep mentioning in every video, but it's like I'm so tired of school. That's why I just wanna get this done so I can start living. Do you understand? Anyhow, it feels like that so-called 1.5 years has gone in like 3 months. Like, I can recall 3 months from that education, from that whole program. And this is something that I was like, that I thought was dreadful. To come to school and do all of these presentations and group works and internships and all of it. Like, anyhow. Okay, so historical lies. You know, like in history, someone said, history is written by the winners. And you know, these people, they love to exaggerate everything. So we don't even know everything that we're reading right now. It might not be totally true. So what I'm trying to say is that history is basically snitching on itself. Like, you don't have to do much digging. Let me give an example. Was it India recently that shoot up like something to the moon, to space? And all of a sudden you have these other people talking about that this was staged, this was fake, and you can see that this was low quality budget moon landing and all of this stuff. And it made me be like, okay, obviously, like from everybody else's point of view and perspective, it looked fake. I'm gonna be honest. It looked like it was some kind of 1990s or 80s kind of game. But then you have to be like, okay, so if their moon landing is fake, what is it saying about your moon landing then? I'm just saying. And realizing that the Holocaust, slavery, and all of these big tumultuous events was recently. Like when you read about this stuff, you think like, oh, this was a long, long time ago. You think centuries ago. But you have people that are still alive. You know, they have like the great-great-grandmothers or grandfathers recently passed away. And when I say recently, I'm talking about the last 5 to 10 years. And you're like, wow, this was, do you understand? The gap, it is crazy. Like it was recently. Okay, so a long time ago, I like poetry. I wrote a poem. I can't remember the poem right now, but I wrote a poem that was basically talking about this. And it was that weird, uncomfortable feeling you get when you feel like you meet somebody new, but the whole demeanor, like the way they're acting, talking, and sometimes even the physical looks, you're like, bruv, it's not the first time that I have met your kind. Maybe it's the first time I meet you know? But this whole whatever that is presenting itself in front of me, it's not the first time that I have seen somebody look like you, talk like you, act like you, and just be you. So this has happened to me so many times that I almost felt like, it feels like it's 5 people, like the Most High, whoever created us and all of this, have like 5 prototypes, and from those 5 prototypes, you have like branches, you know? Then a lot of other people were created from that. And yes, don't talk about Adam and Eve. I mean, I went to 3 different schools. 3 different schools, and I had the same outcome, same events happening by the same people. It was almost so like a telenovela, that now you started to be like, okay, I know what's gonna, like a deja vu. Now you started to feel like, okay, I know what's gonna happen, you know? So let me just try to do something different, act like this, or say this instead, or avoid that, just to get another outcome. Do you understand? It is crazy. I don't know how to explain it. And this is not to say that people are not unique. Everybody's unique in their own way. Do you understand? But I just feel like sometimes when you meet people, you're like, bro, I've seen you before. You know? Your face, your personality, your behavior. So when you meet somebody, that doesn't have to happen often, but sometimes it does. You meet somebody and you're like, this type of human being, I haven't experienced in any shape or form. That is a breath of fresh air. Huh?